Welcome to Painting with Harold. Today's colors will be titanium white, phthalo blue, alizarin crimson, midnight black, dark sienna, Van Dyke brown, yellow ochre, and bright red. We'll also be using a 16 by 20 inch canvas covered in a thin, even coat of liquid white. So, if you're ready and you got everything you need, let's paint this.
Welcome to the canvas with this color. Using little egg strokes. I want to come up here. And just create a spot up here in the sky. Like so. I'm just going to pick up a little bit of red on the brush by itself now. And he just came over here to the sides with the bright red. And just brightened up the outsides with the bright red. That's all he did. Just gave him a little extra punch. We'll get a little of that color. Then we're gonna come over to the midnight black and get a little of that and mix them together. Just take a little blue and black. Load the brush for that color. Then we're gonna come up here, start in the corner, bring that color right over to the red, blue and black. We'll load the brush up again, come to this corner, come out to our color, and we're working across the top. And then around the bottom. Bob said we are creating a vignette here. And he did his. Blue and black around the. Yeah, I'm still using the same brush, John. Once he bought that blue and black around the orange area, he just took and just rubbed the rest of it off down here in the bottom. Said we use this color for shadows in the snow. So that's all you gotta do. I'll tell you what we will do next before we blend. We'll take our finger and come up here to the white. And we'll put our sun in. And then just take your finger and go around circle. That's all. Dry. 2-inch brush where the blue meets the orange. We're just going to come up and just softly blend this area. Just blend these two colors together. Where you can't tell where they meet up. Just softly blend them. That's all we're doing. And when you get that much blended, move out. Now once you move out into these darker colors, don't carry that brush back into the light spot. You want to carry all of this dark color here back into here. Then just come back up here and just softly blend across the whole sky. Real soft. Right across the sun, right across everything. All the way down. Even in that snow area, you just softly blend it down. Just like so. Now you may have to step back from your painting just a little bit to to see if that's where you want your blending to be. Because it's hard to tell if you're up close to it. So, just kind of step back a little bit and take a peek at it. And if you're happy with the way it blended, then let me know and we'll move on to the next step. Right on the fan brush. You want to come right up here and just kind of rub us in a little cloud across here. And bring us another little one right down here. And I think you put one here. I think you did another one up here. But our clouds don't have to match his exactly. We'll get away with that right there. We've done fine. Now once he got his clouds up there, he just took his 2-inch brush that he blended with, came back up, and just lightly brushed over the clouds. Alright, we're going to come right up here. All he did in this one was just made some little simple mountains. He did not get extravagant with the mountains in this painting at all. That's about all he did right there. It was just a simple little 3-peak mountain range. That's all it was. And then once you get that laid out, make sure you got clean outside lines. Took the 2-inch brush, came in here, and you started pulling it out and down. And right here, you can make up your mind how big you want your mountain to be. Entirely up to you. The further you pull down, the bigger it's going to be. I don't want mine to be very big. Well, the way I do it, pull the paint out flat as you can get it. That's important. Believe me, pulling this paint out, the white, as flat as you can get it. and getting that little roll of paint on the knife, if you can see that. It's just a little roll of paint. It's not much paint at all. I wish I could see that better. Come to that first peak and just let that knife touch, or the paint. As soon as the paint touches, you lift it back off. See? The knife never touched. All it touched was the paint. And it stuck. And the reason it stuck is because we got all of this out. But what you do is once that paint touches, you just pull it. Just pull it very lightly. Don't squeeze in trying to push it. Just as soon as it touches, just pull it. You can feel it when it touches the canvas. The knife never does. The knife never touches unless you want it to. But then you come right back up here and just under it just a little bit, leave it a little dark, and do that same thing again. See? And the knife is never actually touching the canvas. Because if the knife were touching the canvas, we'd be squeezing it out, and it looked like we was lashing the cake. Up to this peak, and we'll do the same thing. Just lightly pull. That's all we're doing. Just barely pull it. All right, when he got to this peak, he came over here and he went ahead and pulled it down. And he joined these together. Just like that. He left all that open in there. He put the shadow color in his. But now to make that, the rest of that mountain right there, you just come up here and just kind of pull it down. Just keeping those same little pulls. Which now our mountain's gonna look different than Bob's, but I do mountains differently than Bob does. But that's basically all we're doing. Is just pulling this color, just barely pulling it down, just letting it break. That's all we're doing. Pick up just a tiny roll of that paint, come up here to your edge, and just start. Bring that color opposite direction. You went down that way, come back the opposite direction with your shadow. Just pull it right in. And then do the same thing for this next part down here. No pressure. That's the whole key. No pressure. All right, next with a clean, dry 2-inch brush, we're gonna come up here and you see the direction that the snow is coming down, or highlights, whatever you want to call it. Okay, you're gonna take that 2-inch brush and just lightly start at the bottom and start tapping up and down in the same direction that this is coming down. Just up and down. Real light taps. Okay. See? And then over here, the same thing, in the same direction. Let's create that mist at the bottom of the mountain. Just make sure you're going in the same direction. Then knock all that paint out of your brush. Back over here. Very, very, very lightly. Just come back in the same direction. Remove all them tap marks just by pulling this color up real light. Barely touching it. Just pull it right back up. And do the same thing over here in the shadow side. And then just lightly blend out the bottom. And just like that, you might be setting one there in this. And just remember when you're tapping this, you know, tap lightly. Don't come up there and tap real hard. If you're tapping lightly and you're not making enough of the mist at the bottom, pick you up a little white paint and just spread it around at the bottom. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Get you just a little bit of the white on your brush. Now I've got plenty of the mist up here, but I'll show you just in case you don't. Just come up here with a little bit of the white and just touch it along the bottom, like so. Okay? And then come back over here and tap just the white paint in. See? But don't carry it back up into the mountain like we did earlier. Just want to tap this white down in here and just, you know, create a little bit more of the mist at the bottom. That's just one way of doing it. And just kind of lightly brush it out. What you're looking for is that even color of paint all the way across the bristles. Okay? That's all we're looking for. Now, for just the corner or the top part of that brush, turn the brush kind of at an angle. And with just the corner, we're going to come up here. We're going to touch and pull down. Touch and pull down just for the corner. What that does is it starts like creating lots and lots of little trees back here. Don't kill all that mist that we just made. But you just want to come across here and just touch and pull down. Create like a little hill, like a little foothill back here. Like so. Okay. And bring that all the way across. When you get that done, take the brush we had earlier that we used to tap the bottom of the mountain out with, and come back up here, tap the bottom of these out. You can really get in there and tap these. Because you want to mist all of this out. Okay. Once you get the bottom of it misted out, back up here. Look, and it'll put like little streaks between your trees, and it'll give it a distant like trunk look back in there, and it'll also pull some of them up at a straight point, kind of make them look like evergreens at the same time. So it does a couple things for me. Okay. And just like, just like on the mountain, if you're not happy with it, take you a little bit of white, come up here and just tap it across, just like that. And then come back up here and just tap it in. All that does is just add extra little mist. That's all it does. And you just pull that up. So I did that. It just added extra little mist back there. But you're pulling up real light. And then just kind of blend across it. That's all we do. Next, using the same 1-inch brush again, we're going to come back up here this time, and we're going to get a little of the black. Now, he did use some Prussian blue here, but Clarice don't have Prussian blue, so what we're going to do is we're going to go into the black. We're going to get a little bit more of the black this time, and a little bit less of the phthalo blue. All we want is to make the color darker than this one. Okay? We'll kill all this mist. We'll come right in here. This time, and do the same thing. Just create another little foothill in here. Just make the color darker, because now it's closer. Okay? And then after that, you can wash one if you want to. Because then you got to take the 2-inch brush, come back up here, and smash out the bottom. And we can do the same thing again. Just a little of the white. And come up here and just touch it across the bottom. And then lightly. Get some of the white, and just a touch of the blue. You can almost use that shadow color if you want to. Right on the fan brush. I want to come right out of here. Right in that mist, and just create us a little hill across here with this light blue color, just like so. Just a little swooping hill, just like that. And once you get your little swooping hill done, rub as much of that color out. And come on this side with the clean white and bring it in here. And make you another little heel. Just like so. What that does, by using this blue color and then coming back over it with the white, it gives you almost like a depth in there, 2 heels. All you got to do if you want to add snow to it is get just some clean white. Just on the corner of that 1-inch brush. You just come up here and tap it right in the corner. Okay, and just on these trees right here, just barely touch. And pull down on some of them. You don't have to put snow on every one of them if you don't want to, but that's entirely up to you. If you just want them to look like they got a little snow on them back here. That's it. And that's all you gotta do. You come right up here. And it's just real light color. You just tap on the indication of a few little trees. Now these are gonna look like they're way, way off. Way off in the distance. Using just the corner of the fan brush, just tap them on. I'll just put 3 over here on this side. I think Bob put 2 in his, but that's all you gotta do. Just like that, okay? And then over here on the other side, come over here. One right there. And let's see, we'll add another one outside. But you can see how light this color is. Real light lavender. All I'm doing is just a little bit of blending. Nothing special. Had a couple little something's on my screen there. Lavender trees or bushes. I'm gonna load the brush up, both sides. I'm gonna come up here. Pretty doggone big. Like so. See how these now are behind them? They look like they're way off in the distance back there. Over here a little more. Out here on the very edge. And we'll just add one more. Just because we can. Alright, and that's kind of what you want to end up with is some evergreens looking trees that's in front of these, but pushes them way back. If y'all want to start on that side, go ahead. I'm just going to do this side. I'm going to do it the same way. First thing I'm going to do is split the middle up here. Just come right between them. About like that. Come out here to the outside edge. Lay in the middle. See? And then on this last one Bob did up here, he came up here, he made it crooked, made him lean. Bob said a deer stepped on him. Back when he was young. That sucks for the little tree, but hey, it is what it is. And just like on the other side, see, we got our distant ones in the back. All right, with that light tan color, I'm gonna grab just a small roll, very small roll. I'll come up here at the top of our trees, push that center out, that I always forget to do. And then come back and just tap in the indication. There's the trunks up here. Just here and there. It don't matter how many trunks you put in. If you put several in, it'll just make it look like more trees. Get another tiny roll. Come to this side. Basically do the same thing. Just come right up through the center of the trees. And then just touch on a little indication of a trunk. Here and there. Get some of that color on your brush. Now this paint's thinner, so it's going to stick to these trees better. So it's very, very light pressure. If you put too much pressure, it's going to turn to mud. Very light pressure. All right, we'll start with this little one out here first. We just want to come up here and just barely touch on some color. We don't need very much indication of snow up here. Not looking for much at all. Just touch on some color. That's all we're doing. Touch on a couple places. Leave it dark at the bottom. Kill all your dark. One outside, one out here. We'll just get in a couple places. We'll come over here. We'll do the same thing to these. There again, not looking for much. And don't want to kill all that dark at the bottom. And just barely, I mean barely touching this paint on here. Let me get this one back here. Okay. I got it loaded up with white. I'm gonna come right up here at the bottom of these trees. I'm gonna start pulling out some of this color. And I just want to kind of pull it out at a little angle here. Like so. Just kind of take it like it's going down here. And then come right back up here, pushing the fan brush up. I want to create like some little grassy areas right in here. Just pushing the brush up. Make it look like some little snow-covered grassy areas. Then load the brush up again. I'm gonna come on this side. I'm gonna do the same thing. Just come in here, pull this color down and out. Make it look like it's kind of going down here. And then come back up here and do the same thing. Just make it look like some little snow-covered bushes out here. Just by tapping in the color. We'll come right up here and just touch and pull straight down. On this side, and the same thing on this side. Just kind of round it off as best you can. It don't matter if it don't get round. Right now, the most important thing is just pulling it straight down. Then you can take a little bit of the white and come back in and pull some of the white into it. About like that, that's all we're looking for. I'm gonna create just a little, then I'm gonna take just clean white. Now you can do yours different if you want to, but this is just the way I like to do it. And I'm gonna come up here around this, and I'm just gonna tap this on. Kind of make it look like snow, kind of piled up around the banks of this little pond we just made. The Bob pulled his down this way. I'm gonna pull mine back the opposite way. Just gonna come in here and just pull his color straight back from the little bank we just made, back towards the hill. And same on this side. Just come in here and just pull it back. I'm using the corner of the fan brush. I'm gonna come up here and just kind of tap me on a little, like a little rock formation, like that. And then Bob said that this little fella had to have a friend. And he called that friend Harold. And if you don't believe that, you can go watch the show. Watch that episode, and you'll see that I was in one of Bob's paintings. All right, we're gonna come right down out of here onto the rock. Pull a little snow over it. Wash the brush again. Probably got to wash the brush 2 or 3 times to get this to look right, but it'll be worth it. I'm gonna come right up here, come right over this little rock. Doing this with just clean white paint, thin down just a little. It's important that you use straight white right here. To make it look like you got snow piled up on a little rock. And you don't want to cover it all the way up. Leave some of it showing. And And then once you get the snow on it, you can come back up here and start blending it back to make it look like it come from back in here. Like it just came down the hill and piled up on the little rocks. Then you can take your fan brush and tap into just straight white and come along the bottom and just add your little line of clean white across there. And it'll just look like snow piled up all around the little rock. Now over here, if you want to put some white in between these little grass patches, all this stuff right here is just clean up and peddling. You can come in here and add a little extra white in here. This is entirely up to you. This is just something you can do. You don't have to do this if you don't want to. But it just adds a little interest sometimes. And then just kind of brush it on down and around. And smooth this out if you need to. All of these little things like this is, just little details that you can do to make your painting stand out from somebody else's. That's all it is. You just come up here and, I know we're not putting in a water line because this is froze, but we just make it look like we got, little bits of snow coming out onto the ice around through here. Because there just about ain't no way that this is not froze. You can bring some out here if you want it kind of piled up on the ice a little bit. Just, something to look at. You gotta put much, just a little bit out there, not like that. Just because Clarice can't. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is my take on Bob Ross's Season 9, Episode 1, Winter Evergreens.